Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Saturday live AS Max session. And since boot camp started on Thursday night, we have a lot of boot camp students that are here, and we're going to help everybody with their profiles, any questions they might have. So let me just come down here and take a look at who's here. Now, can everybody see my screen, my LinkedIn profile that's up there? Okay. Notice anything new? That's right. Several banner pages. And we didn't get to that on Thursday night. But LinkedIn has a feature that instead of putting one banner up at the top, you can do three. And so there is a number of sales tactics that you all can use that really capitalizes on the effect of this. And we're going to be talking about that on our second session of boot camp when we talk about connecting with people. Additionally, on Sunday night, we're going to dive into the whole artificial intelligence, AI phenomenon. And we're going to give all of you a lot of information about that. So James wants to see if his settings are open on LinkedIn. Well, let's see. I can see your banner. So, James, I unmuted you.
Yes, sir. How are you, Max?
I am fabulous. exceptional. I'm going sailing tomorrow, and that just lights me up. So how is LinkedIn working for you?
Well, actually, I've got to set up a coaching appointment with you. It's not going like I expected, and over on my Facebook page, I did one of the things that you suggested a little while back. We're going to have a convention in Baltimore, and I changed my profile banner to Baltimore to see if some people would contact me like, hey, what's going on in Baltimore, or why'd you change her? And not a whole lot going on.
Okay. Um, well, let me tell you what's wrong with your LinkedIn page.
Okay.
Okay, we're using keywords, and when people are looking for you,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have, for example, your banner has got much too much information in here.
Okay.
Okay, but let me kind of give you the concept so you all of you understand this. LinkedIn is, without question, the most powerful and effective social network in the history of the world. And I'm not kidding. The power it gives you to connect with people. Now, right now it shows, well, let's see how many. It shows you're connected to 676 people. Now, realistically, how long have you been on LinkedIn?
A long time, but I haven't done much with it.
Obvious. But at
But
least a third of the people that you're connected to on LinkedIn, you've never talked to, maybe even more. And the truth is, some of these people could very well be prospects for your business. But here's the deal. First and foremost, you're covered. Okay, you're covered here. Your cover should broadcast to the world, everybody that sees it, a thought, a subtle message about you. Okay, and I'm going to give you some examples, but here, right up here at the top, international entrepreneur, business connector, and strategist, social media expert. Okay, so you're telling, and here, hey, listen here, check my website, hook up, make a reservation on my calendar, and just out of curiosity, do many people book appointments with you on your calendar?
no.
Okay. Well, that's kind of good news because frankly, 80% of the people that would book it would never show up. But
Okay.
you're not getting anybody there. And the thing is, if you want people to talk to and actually book an appointment, you want to be very, very selective. A couple of my students used to complain that their calendar would fill up. But 95% of the people who booked an appointment never showed. And the reason they never showed is because they were trying to get information. They weren't very serious about it. If I get it this week or I get it next week, it doesn't matter. When we made some changes, in other words, your position should be the people that book an appointment on your calendar need to be motivated. They need to know enough about you so that they want to get there. So this is, it's too much and it's not helping you. All right. Then we go down here to, because you got the same stuff you have in the banner, you list it down here. Now the impact group. What business are you trying to sell?
What business am I in?
Yeah,
Uh, Legal Shield.
that's what I thought. I thought so.
Yeah.
I thought so. Now, realistically, And who are you looking for on LinkedIn?
Oh, actually, I'm looking to recruit people as well as you know our product a little bit. You can sell personal plans.
I'm very familiar with it.
I know you are. I was on the top earner, and I did not realize that you were in that merger or whatever.
Yeah,
And I
yeah. In fact, it was called prepaid legal
yeah.
that took over our company. And I got to tell you the truth, that was back in 1998. And I was the top recruiter in my company, the People's Network. And when they announced it, I'll never forget this. It was August of 1998. And Jeff Olson introduced me to Harlan Stonecipher, who founded Prepaid Legal. And he says, Harlan, this guy has figured out the internet. And so they made arrangements, and I went to, they made an appointment for me to go to Ada, Oklahoma, and show them, what I put together. And I had a week's notice, right? So I went on AOL and I started looking for people that were interested in a business. And the following Monday, when I flew into, when I flew, uh, I took an early flight from Miami to Dallas. I got there at like 7 o'clock in the morning. And I had 5 people that were interested in the business. One of them met me at the airport and took me to a car rental where I rented a van. And then we drove to a shopping center where we picked up 4 more people. They were all women. So, and we were all strangers. I mean, we'd been talking to each other over, chat. We all knew each other, basically. We knew what they looked like because we shared pictures. So I drove from Dallas to Ada, Oklahoma. It was about a 3.5 hour drive. So we were all good friends by the time we got there. And have you ever been to Ada?
Yes, I have.
Okay. I understand they made a lot of changes, but when we got there, it looked like Mayberry from the Andy Griffith show.
Hmm.
Small town. And so I think the guy's name was Long, who was,
Yeah, John Long.
is he still there?
I'm not sure he's not. Not sure if he's still there, but I do recognize the name.
Okay. Anyway, so I met with John Long and I said, John, these 5 women I met last week and they're all here because they want to sign up in prepaid legal. Let me show you what I did, how they can. And so he arranged to give everybody a tour and, I showed him everything. And then he told me, he says, Max, we're really not ready for the internet. We're not interested. We're concerned about fraud. They just weren't ready and they weren't interested. And that's the reason I didn't build a prepaid legal business. 80% of the leaders in our company didn't sign up with prepaid. They went to other companies and they asked me to train their people and their leaders. And so what really launched me on my path here was I did a training for a leader in NECAN, the magnet company. In fact, I reached out to one of the top leaders in the company and I introduced myself and I said, I got this training program. We had audio tapes. So I sent it to him. Well, he didn't know the first thing about the internet. So he gave the audio, the tapes to his son-in-law. His son-in-law in 1 week recruited 6 people. They called me up and they said, can you come to, I know it's short notice, but we have a big meeting in Scranton, it was Scranton, Pennsylvania. Could you come? So I gave a training in front of 600 people. They went wild. I started out, I asked, how many people here have a computer? Everybody raised their hand. How many of you are using it to build your business? Nobody raised their hand. How many would like to know how to do it? Everybody raised their hand. I understand that this was back in 1999 because, decided that I was going to start teaching people how to do it. From there, a month later, I was invited to their international convention in Anaheim, California. They had 12,000 people there. I gave a training at a breakout session with 3,000 people. And, I sold about $26,000 worth of audio tapes. And I said, I can do this. And basically, I've been doing it ever since. But my relationship with the folks in prepaid, we're good. Dave Savola at the time was the top guy in the company. And I started doing trainings for a number of their RVPs. The biggest group I worked with was in Atlanta. I can't think of the guy's name. I can see.
Darnell Self?
Who?
Darnell Self?
No, Darnell was one of the leaders in my company, and he ended up, they gave everybody a month to start building the business. It was our job to go and convince all of our organizations. I had 7,000 people. It was my job to convince all 7,000 people to join prepaid because TPN was over. And my leaders weren't interested in it. So he ended up getting my genealogy along with the genealogies of everybody else that didn't sign up. And that's one of the reasons that he did it. But he was pretty much, at the time, an old school, network marketer. Oh man, I can still see the guy's face. But at the time, he was, he wasn't, he was an up and coming leader. I was working with the people that were at the time regional vice presidents. So, and then of course, at the time they were a public company, and of course now they switched. They're no longer a public company. And we're going to talk about some of the changes that are taking place on the industry because a company that has been around for over 30 years just shut down. We're going to talk about that a little bit today. So anyway, for you, what?
Yeah, I know that banner probably has to come down. I mean, I know.
There's a lot of things that you want to change on here. The whole idea is to give people that if I come over here and let me look at hi dear.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how it was going with her.
Well, Kai is I've been coaching her.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're the top woman in the company, and she's killing it. But she, and she was a classic example of somebody that had the calendar, and 80% of the time the people, never showed up. So she ended up, which for her was needed, she got a virtual assistant. And I trained, actually, I'm glad you brought her up because I really need to follow up with her and see how she's doing.
Yeah, I remember you saying, we talked before. I remember you saying that you're going to be working with them.
Yep. And again, at the end of the day, it all comes down to conversation. It all comes down to conversation. I can have somebody call you this afternoon, probably around 3:30, and hook you up. Because the truth is, if you're going to Baltimore.
Yeah, I talked to Callie already, but
okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll have Callie call you back. Because
Okay.
if you're going to Baltimore, then you can be connecting with people in Baltimore. You could be recruiting people in Baltimore. I'll give you an example. The company that we're going to talk about is Modere.
Yeah, if you could go to my Facebook page, you could see that I put up a Baltimore banner and I kind of started the process that I think you're talking about.
Okay, so let's go over here to people. So there are 6,400 people. Modere shut down on Friday. Okay. So we come up here. Now we could do Baltimore.
Mhm. And I didn't sign up for Recruiter Lite yet, but now I'm thinking that I probably need to sign up for it so I can get started on doing some stuff.
Why?
Because I really need to probably see some people in Baltimore. That's why it's not working.
Okay.
There it goes.
So here we go. Now this is in the United States. So let me go and change this to Baltimore. Okay, so you got Baltimore, Maryland. But the truth is, there we go. Undo that. There's one person in Baltimore. Now, in reality, instead of doing Baltimore, you really want to do Maryland. Why? Because when you do a keyword search, what you get
A
is what
lot more.
well, you're just going to get Baltimore. So there could be a city, somebody could be listed in a town 15 minutes from Baltimore, but you're not going to get that person. So you want to look at the whole state. But by the same token, in addition to Baltimore, uh, Maryland, you also have Virginia. The next state, it's the next state over. And people will drive. You got 80 people. All right. So let's go over and look at your Facebook page.
Since I have a really common name, you probably to find it, you probably need to know, put in who is James Williams. All together, I think it's all together. Yeah, if you try it without spaces, that should pop up in the search. There it goes.
All right.
It's the thing with common names. I actually did this yesterday because I remember that you said something about this a little while back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm gonna be there the 22nd through the 27th.
Well, so you had one person like it.
Yeah.
A more effective way to do it. Okay,
Mhm.
let's look at what you did here.
I put a little of the project launch language in there.
So I'm curious. Um, Man, you're really in a hurry, aren't you? You just want to put it all out there.
I know.
Okay, and
Baby steps.
first of all, curiosity. What you really want to do is you want to take.
The first part.
Okay, let's come up here. Now you got the idea about the city.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we come up here. And we're looking for Baltimore. Okay. Now I love, it's been years since I've been there, but downtown Baltimore was outrageous. I mean, they had an aquarium there. It was a vibrant, it was a vibrant place. And then, I understand they had a lot of problems. But okay, so take a picture like this, okay? And you post a picture like this. And then what you do is you say, I'm looking forward to meeting all my friends, to seeing all my friends when I'm in Baltimore. I'm going to be there first, put in the days, looking forward to catching up with all my friends and making new ones. That's all you're going to say.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah, that's all you're going to say.
Yeah, I did a shotgun, and that's not the right thing to
Right.
do.
Exactly. All right. So,
I'll redo it.
yeah. Okay. So, all right. So let me get back to okay. So let me come back over here. So on Sunday night, I'm going to be doing a full-blown training on using artificial intelligence and why everybody needs. In fact, I think I'm probably going to schedule a 2-day course on how to use it. Additionally, for those of you that haven't registered for boot camp yet, we just did our first session on Thursday. Our next session is going to be on Tuesday, so there's still plenty of time. So, again, what would you attempt to do if you knew you couldn't fail? There are millions of people waiting to talk to you right now. But I want to talk to you for a minute about the 10 top earning secrets that nobody ever knows about. We talked about it in our winter retreat. We have a spring retreat. I think it's going to take place at the end of May. The top earning network marketing leaders in your business don't talk about this for a lot of reasons. But when you know what they are and learn what you can do, what they did, you can become a top earner a lot faster. 10 secrets. Number one, every month, more than 200 network marketing companies close, fail to launch, make unpopular changes that cause their leaders, we call them whales, and large group of distributors to quit. and when they leave, they bring many other unhappy people with them and enter the large growing pool of network marketers out there searching for a new company. So on Friday, an announcement went out. Modere shuts down after 23 years. Now, this came as a shock to everybody. The distributors, the leaders, Margie Alaprandi, who has been a great friend of mine for 20 years. She's presented at 2 of my retreats. She got the same message everybody else got at the same time. Now, for those of you, what you want to do is you want to check on LinkedIn to see how many people in Modere are you already connected to. I've got 13, but let me just tell you, you do a keyword search for people in Modere, you're not going to find, there's 13 here. People that I'm not connected to, you got 6,400. But the truth is, all of my students, you won't find Margie Alaprandi on there, because my students know you don't put the name of your network marketing company on your profile. But that's certainly one way to do it. So let me give you a little, I guess we can call it insider information. One of Modere's debtors, LaCour Enterprises, forced them to close their account. They're behind on payments. Now, LaCour is a name that, for those of you that are long-term students, you've heard me talk about them before. It's a company that invests in companies, network marketing companies that are struggling financially, to help them rebuild. They previously took over the company Pruvit, and last month they sold the company to Herbalife. They pick up struggling companies for 10 cents on the dollar. In some cases, it's a nickel on the dollar. Pruvit. And if you go on LinkedIn and you look for Pruvit, there's 4 of their top earners on there. Every one of them is already in another company. Last year, LaCour invested in Isagenix to help them rebuild. In 2017, they had an incredible year. They were up to $800 million. It was a thriving company. They had a big convention. They had about 14,000 people there. Next year, we're going to be a $1 billion company. Well, they went out and they borrowed over, I think it was $350 or $400 million. Hey, they had great credit, cash flow, borrowed $400 million. Well, companies that are growing, companies that are expanding, the people that loaned them the money didn't ask them what they were going to do with it. They said they probably did. But what they did with it was they paid themselves. They paid themselves. And that pissed off the leaders. I helped 60 people in Isagenix become $1 million earners using the techniques and everything that I'm sharing with all of you. 10 of them are still with Isagenix. The other ones left. And everybody thought that Isagenix was going to shut down, because the following year, instead of doing $1 billion, they went from 800 million down to 500 million. Then they went down to 400 million. Then they went down to 300 million. And the last convention that they had last summer, keep in mind that, 10,000, 12,000 people, they had 1,500. Now, in 2020, Isagenix picked up Zija, that was struggling, Kivana, and there was another company. They picked up three companies, and picking up those three companies did not help them grow. So now you can certainly go out and you can certainly connect with people. But the bottom line is, for all of you, the big change on LinkedIn. Let me go over there. Number one, you can, there's a button that you can push when you put your headline up there, your banner, where you can literally create a rotating images. They'll do three. And what's the purpose of these? The purpose of your banner, for those of you that, in fact, I'm going to be working with somebody in the travel that's got a travel agency. And so he's going to have three rotating pictures of fabulous destinations. And here, once you begin to change, so will the world around you. And so you take basically a theme for your images and you can change them. It could be different locations. It could be a picture while someone's on vacation, another picture. All of these pictures are designed to do one thing: make people curious about who you are and what you do. If you all remember the movie When Harry Met Sally. If you don't remember it, then go on YouTube and just do a search for, just type in When Harry Met Sally restaurant scene. So there's a woman sitting at a table next to where Harry and Sally are sitting. And she's faking that she's having an orgasm. And it's very, very loud. And so the woman sitting at the next, everybody's looking, everybody's watching. And so the waitress asks the woman at the next table, what are you gonna have? And she says, I want whatever I want whatever she's having. When people look at your profile, when they look to see who are you, between what they see on your cover, between what they see with your posts, they want what you have. They want to be doing what you're doing. Now, not everybody is going to feel that way, but people that are looking for an opportunity, people that are dissatisfied, they want more. And on LinkedIn, you got people that are flat out eagerly looking for an opportunity. I mean, we could go up here. Looking for opportunities on LinkedIn, last time I looked, I had 3 million. There you go. No, now I got 3,000,010. It's changing all the time. And if I did looking for opportunity, I'd get about almost 2 million. That's 5 million people. But there are more people than that are looking for an opportunity. But just because they're looking for an opportunity doesn't mean you want to talk to them. What do they do? What's their background? I can take you over here. And I'll do a search for Bed Bath & Beyond. You go over here for people. And you got 59,000 people that used to work for Bed Bath & Beyond, because Bed Bath & Beyond went bankrupt last year. They had over 380 stores, and they started closing them the year before, winding down. The last day for all of their stores was in July. And you could go on here and you could do a search. And okay, there's 59,000 people for Bed Bath & Beyond, but there are all kinds of people doing different things. You want to talk to people that have circles of influence. You also want to talk to people in sales. So we did Bed Bath & Beyond. People that were involved in sales had 22,000. So you come down here, you have operations manager, district manager, sales manager. Now, a district manager means they manage a district. They manage a couple of stores. Now, what Recruiter Lite does, Recruiter Lite has one benefit. Now, if you do it with Recruiter Lite, you could do it on Recruiter Lite. The extra benefit of Recruiter Lite is you could go in there and you can see how recent people started their LinkedIn account, which is used. Show me all the people that started a LinkedIn account in the last 90 days. That's new. You get them before they're burned out. All right, but let's take a look. She doesn't have a picture. What you need to be sure, are they active? So we come over here. So here you go. She was a district manager for 14 years. And she lost her job. Now, the fact that you don't see a picture, okay? This was 2 years ago. Reactions. Well, she reacted to something 1 month ago. Well, and maybe she just doesn't know that her picture's not showing. So these are people. Let's move one back. At Bath and Beyond. People. Now, let's go back. Manager. That filters it down a little bit more.
Max, people are telling him they can't see your screen.
Oh, okay. All right, so we got a Bed Bath and Beyond manager. You got 26,000. You got district manager, store manager. Look at her. You scroll down. Says she worked for them for 15 years. Now, you got to understand the circumstances of these people. The people that have worked for Bed Bath and Beyond for an extended period of time, they have risen up the ranks. They're getting a high salary. Okay, Michelle, I don't know when you got here, but I covered it. Let me unmute you.
Yeah, I'm there, Max.
Yeah, did you hear what I talked about? Modere?
Yeah, the slides from Modere, yeah, and Lacour and everything. I just seen it.
Yeah,
I wrote it just before you
gotcha.
talked about it.
Yeah, so the thing here, but you're right. When these people are in a total state of shock, okay, and reaching out to these people now. In fact, I do have we introduced a script. I do have a script for shopping for a sponsor, but some people, believe it or not, you're going to talk to a lot of people. If you did a search for people in Modere, they're going to be people that they haven't heard, they don't know. Now, right, if you're not paying for an advanced program, premium, recruiter light, or sales navigator, they limit you to 5 searches a month. And frankly, if you follow my program, okay, and you communicate with people the correct way, the advanced searches will pay for itself. Okay. You have Recruiter Lite and you have Sales Navigator. What Sales Navigator does is what you're trying to do is you're trying to connect with people that are active. So when you bring up a profile and you check out the activity to decide who am I going to send a message to, and then you go ahead and send the message, it's going to take you 90 seconds. If you do 20 at one time, it's 30 minutes. What Sales Navigator does is you can go in there and you can search, and there's a little button you push that'll show you the people that posted in the last 60 days. That's a big time saver. And if that's the basic fundamental strategy that you want to use. Recruiter Lite, that feature of contacting people that are brand new is fabulous. That, however, limits your searches. So it becomes, a matter of personal choice. That's all. Stand by, folks, for just 1 minute. Now, if you're treating your business like a business, your goal is to reach out and talk to 10, 15, or 20 people a day. All right? Minimum, we should be talking to at least 10. And when we're searching for people, you're going to get better at picking out the people. But just because, for example, a store manager here has been out of work doesn't mean when you reach out to them that they're going to accept the connection. So accepting the connection is the first thing. Remember, the more you have in common, because what's going to happen? You're going to send them a connection request. They're going to look at your profile. They're going to look at your profile. If your profile is promoting yourself as a network marketer, they're not going to pay any attention to you. They have to like what they see. Now, most of the time, it doesn't matter. You know, you send a connection request. I'm going to go over here to my network. So I got 18 people that want to connect with me. Okay, now, this person invited me to follow them. And the strategy that LinkedIn is using, they discourage people from having the connect button. They say, put a follow button up. And then people can react to your, will make your posts visible. Well, the truth is your posts are visible anyway. Follow somebody, like what they do, and then what you really want to do is you want to connect. All right? So I'm going to ignore this one. Okay? So this one wants to invite me to follow. Again, I have no idea where she is, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to ignore it. So this person wants to connect with me, and he's got the open to work frame. Now that open to work frame means one of two things. Either they're open to work because they're looking for something, or they're doing, so he's a marketing specialist and he's open to work, he's looking for clients. So I'm going to accept him. Okay, now we talk about bogus profiles. Here's one. How do you know? Well, most of the time you can tell by looking at the picture. Okay. Now you can go down and you could read the rest of it. I'm a seasoned VP of a company. They can copy anything. What I find interesting, she's got 1,800 connections. Okay. And as a general rule of thumb, when they reach out to you, what they want to do let's connect, let's do a call where we can get to know each other. We can benefit, see how what you do and what I do, we can benefit each other. And then the typical it's almost a universal approach because they want to hook up with you on WhatsApp. Let's talk on WhatsApp. So why do they want to talk to you on WhatsApp? Because with WhatsApp, you can send people money because that's ultimately where they're going to try to go. So what is the benefit, if any, to being connected with somebody like this? Is you're connected to the 1,800 people that she's connected to. So I'll play. I'm going to accept this one. And the next thing I know, I'm going to get a message. And it's a routine. So you come down here, helping others create passive income through commercial real estate. So here's the thing. If there's a need, now, for those of you that are building up your list, just accept everybody. Just because you've accepted them, it doesn't mean you're going to talk to them. Okay? Because you want to be connected to their connection. So now, the other thing is, if he doesn't say on his profile that he's looking, he could very well be in a profession where they're always looking. Show me a nurse that's been in the field for more than 10 years. They've all been involved with network marketing, where they've tried it. So there are ways to talk to people that are flat out saying they're looking, and there are ways to bring it up in a casual conversation to find out what their experience in network marketing is without coming across as being salesy. At the end of the day, where you all want to get to is finding out what their experience in network marketing is. Would they be open to looking at a company if it didn't involve all the nonsense that they had to experience the day before, the last time? All right. So let me come over here. Okay, Paul, let me Okay. All right, we've got a mastermind session at 1 o'clock. So if any of you have specific questions, you can get on there. Now, our goal is to help all of you make 5 sales before the end of boot camp. And it doesn't matter where you are. Because what LinkedIn's going to do for you, number one, you could be reaching out to the people. Whoa, I still got more. Content creator. To accept these people, they're all selling services. Michael invited me to follow Make Money Online. Now, the only benefit to joining one of these groups is to be able to connect with people that are interested in the product or the service. So again, I will be back. Now, what you do is, so you accept connections, you hook up with Les Brown, and then you have access to all the people he's connected to. We'll be back at 1 o'clock for our mastermind session. Sunday night at 9 o'clock, we're doing a special broadcast on ChatGPT. I'm sorry, not ChatGPT, about artificial intelligence, which so until next time, best of luck in building your business and God bless.